is a fabulous. It definitely helps with the physical presentation of the preferred gender, but it's not a necessary.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, I know completely, because when I first came out, it was the first thing I wanted to do, and I couldn't wait, and I needed to take that step, and I needed to take that breath, because it was like exploding out of a shell.
And then the first appointment you tried to schedule was a year away.
God.
2, maybe?
Well, I first tried to get in with the same doctor that you had, and couldn't get in until the end of November.
Yeah.
I tried another doctor in network, and that was pushed out to February.
Yeah.
So imagine me just now starting. Yeah. And then there was another doctor, and I think it was even further out like that. I actually had to go outside of the network and drive almost 3 hours away from home to get an appointment that was in a time frame where I felt it was, my patience was there and I was manageable without, like, losing my marbles.
Yeah.
And I still lost some marbles. Because then that doctor, treated me, agreed, put me on testosterone, gave me testosterone for 3 months, and when I sent him my labs, he went, hey, great, let's start you on testosterone. Completely forgot who I was.
Yeah, and that's something I've noticed, because hasn't my doctor done the same thing? Or at least mistaken me for a different patient?
He mistook you for a different patient.
Yeah.
But that's different than forgetting you're a patient.
Yeah, alright, fair.
And like I said, and then, like, this doctor was so, I don't want to say the word incompetent, because that's not nice, because I don't know what's going on, and I
no
don't
one will know.
But not only tried to downgrade my testosterone, instead of leaving it where he said he was going to, he tried to drop it down, and then I was like, hey, look, that's not where I was initially. Oh, I'm sorry, let's put it back up where it was. But then, like, I've been trying to have a doctor's appointment with him for this last month, and he keeps canceling them.
Really?
Like, if I canceled them, there'd be the fees, and eventually he'd drop me, but if he cancels them, oh, freaking well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
So, I'm in the process of looking for an endocrinologist at this point. And for those of you who aren't aware what an endocrinologist is, this is a person who monitors blood levels and things like that. So I can have my labs done. The endocrinologist can look at it. I'm trying to see if my primary can actually prescribe my, I forgot the word. I was like, it was a blank there. I'm sorry. Prescribe my testosterone so that I can be back in network, close to home. But even the endocrinologists are still 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nobody over here. It's really, really...
we live in this little, unknown little corner of the world.
Yeah, it was like I said, like, everybody just kind of went, we're gone. And like I said, we don't know why. You have an appointment in a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping that we kind of get some answers from your doctor as to why everybody's bailing on this particular system.
Yeah. Which would be interesting to find out.
Yeah. Okay, is that your rant?
Yes, that is my rant.
All right, Leo is stepping down on his rant. I'm going to go into my little tidbit of the universe here.
My rant was more like your rant, but we'll go with it.
Do you need to rant more?
No.
Did I overtake your Did I take your mic?
You did take my mic.
Would you like your mic back?
No.
Are you sure?
Keep ranting.
Okay. I'm not ranting.
Keep talking.
Well, no, let's keep at it, though. Before I go on to mine.
All right.
What about, what did you tell your friend?
I actually can pull up the messages right here.
Yeah, pull up those messages.
I'm going to be censoring a lot because this was in school.
Which means that there's a lot of cussing.
Yes, because our school has also been really annoying about our phone policy. Where is he? There he is.
Yeah, for the record, Leo's school is beginning to enforce a phone policy that it's never enforced because students were taking pictures of teachers while they were napping or doing things that they weren't supposed to, and the teachers got mad. So instead of fixing the teachers, making them behave the way they're supposed to, they banned the phones. So go ahead.
So, looking back at these messages, I'm not going to say them word for word for
of course.
Privacy. But, apparently, and I did not notice this before until now, the doctor made him feel not trans enough.
Trans enough, I like that.
Trans enough.
How are you trans enough?
I don't know. What is the scale here that we're going off of?
Is that like the anger? You know what it is? I bet the trans enough scale has got to be like the smiley face, 1 through 10. How much pain are you in? How long?
That would be so annoying.
How long is the skirt that you're in? How long is your dick?
That would be so annoying if that's what he asked.
Really? I mean, yeah.
And he was basically asking me to find out the minimum age. I sent him a screenshot of the actual health plan for the youth services for his doctors.
Yeah.
Which is also our same, because I knew it.
Right. And you knew it because we looked into it before we sent you.
Yeah. And it was just all annoying. Because his mother was not helping at all.
No.
And it actually put him into a panic attack in the doctor's office.
I believe that, which,
that his mom then called him out on to make him feel embarrassed.
His mom called him out on a panic attack?
Yeah.
So someone who struggles from gender dysphoria and is transgender goes into a doctor's office where he's supposed to feel confident.
Yeah.
And comfortable.
Where he also got misgendered by a nurse.
And not only does his doctor say, nah, sorry, you just don't fit the bill for what I think a transgender person should be.
Yeah.
You're not trans enough. Where are the air quotes? Trans enough. But since you're having a panic attack, now your own mother, your own parent who's supposed to be in your corner, and I know. We've had many of those conversations about parents who just aren't in the corner. Calls you out on your anxiety, which part of gender dysphoria is anxiety.
Yeah.
And basically, like, what is when you say call you out? Make fun of, point it out.
I wasn't told.
Calm down. That's the worst thing to tell a person ever.
Don't ever tell someone who's in a panic attack
to calm down. Like, yeah.
Or tell them, or an angry person to calm down.
Right.
They're just asking to get punched.
And I know you told I know that we gave your friend other medical advice.
Yeah.
All right. And this is one of the things that, again, I know, but we know, is that at 14, HIPAA steps in.
Yeah.
And HIPAA states that if you're 14 years old and you don't want your parents to know your medical information, they don't have to tell them.
Yeah. Which I was surprised that his mother was even in the room for the visit.
Parents can be in the room for a visit.
Yeah.
They really should be in the visit, but if the child were to say, hey, I would feel more comfortable with the parent not here, then the doctor has to make the parent step out.
Yeah.
But like I said, the thing is, like, we don't have access to your medical records unless you let us have access to them. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that this kind of really bothers me is that, and again, this is, children are ignorant.
Yes.
And I don't mean ignorant as in a rude way, but I mean ignorant as in a lack of knowledge.
Ignorance is bliss.
Not in this case.
Blissful ignorance.
This is not blissful ignorance. Mm-hmm. This ignorance kind of bit this kid in the butt.
Yeah.
Because if this kid had been aware, the parent should have not been there. If he knew, he knew, mm-hmm. that the parent was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And additionally, if the young man knew that the system's medical policies, could have called the doctor out on it.
Yeah.
So again, this is one of those things that I hate to say this, but you don't really have to worry about because my overabundance of need to research. Mm-hmm. So I made sure of this stuff before we walked in.
Yeah.
And again, maybe that's a supportive parent versus a non-supportive parent. Mm-hmm. But either that child should have done that for himself mm-hmm. if he thought his parent wasn't going to be supportive, or the parent should have, and maybe the parent did. Mm-hmm. But either way, this kid kind of walked into this situation. I'm not blaming the kid in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no.
But they used his lack of knowledge against him. Mm-hmm. They really, really did.
Which I find disgusting.
I agree. I agree. At no point should a doctor
or a parent,
use ignorance to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But let's face it, human beings do that. That's exactly what human beings do.
Yeah.
So, and again, like I said, I know for a fact you asked me, and I gave you my psychologist's phone number.
Mm-hmm. And I have encouraged this friend to remove his mom from not his medical records, but
it's like a My Health record. But yeah,
keep his especially transgender medical situation mm-hmm. private unless it is dangerous.
Sure. And that's kind of the only divider, and a psychologist will tell you this, or a counselor will tell you this. There's that level of confidentiality. Unless you are planning of hurting yourself or hurting others, they cannot talk about what you and them talk about. Mm-hmm. It's like you and your counselor. I don't know what you guys talk about. I have no clue what you guys talk about.
Yeah.
Because you haven't threatened to eat anybody recently.
I haven't threatened to hurt someone.
Right. And you haven't, expressed a desire to harm yourself or others, so therefore the psychologist really can't tell anything. Mm-hmm. And the same thing goes for, even I was on the phone this afternoon with my doctor when I pulled into the driveway. And, the first thing out the gate is, unless you're threatening self-harm or harm to others, this phone call goes no further than right here.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And it's what I tell all my friends especially my friends who are not in safe situations in their own households, when their parents get them therapists, counselors, is you need to be aware of your rights in this situation.
Yeah. And not just because they're transgender rights. Mm-hmm. They're basic human and basic medical rights. And let's be honest that, and we see this with this particular situation, if the child, and I hate to say this because it just sounds, it's so wrong, but if the child or the patient is not aware of their rights, they can be trampled. And that doesn't go just for medical rights, but any right.
Yeah.
If you don't know your rights, and you don't know that your rights are being violated, and they get trampled on.
Yeah.
And we see this, unfortunately, we see this a lot in society in general. Mm-hmm. But this particular situation hits home because it could be anybody's kid.
Yeah.
It doesn't, just because he's your friend, doesn't, it makes it more realistic for us because we can talk about it and it's there. But this could be you, it could have been me, it could have been, Uncle Bobby Joe Sue, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be anybody. And I guarantee you that it's happened to others. Mm-hmm. They didn't know their rights, or they may still not know their rights. Yeah. Because they didn't know how to look for their rights. So what I'm going to say is, before you make that appointment, or even after you've made that appointment and you were told no for this reason or for that reason, if those reasons seem like BS to you, go on your insurance's website, go on the healthcare system's website, go look for their policies.
Yeah.
Every system right now has a policy on transgender and the LGBTQ plus community because it is such a wide community now.
Yeah.
And it's part of right infractions.
Yeah.
So if a person feels like they're being discriminated against because of their gender or preferred gender or race or anything else, they have the right to sue. Mm-hmm. So this boy actually has this right now.
Really?
Sure. Now, again, I'm not along with all the nots, I'm not a lawyer.
We're not lawyers.
We're not lawyers. And it would be an uphill battle because it would be him versus his parent but he was discriminated against because he wants to be something.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, I'm not putting you on that because that's all you want to be happy. Well, yeah, basic human right. We have the right to be happy.
Yeah.
Hello, the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. It's kind of in the Constitution. All right, Bill of Rights. But anyway, we used to say happiness.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, I'm allowed to say happiness. It's HAPPINES.
Oh, I am sure it is PP. I am sure it is PP.
That is exactly how you spell happiness.
Off topic.
Oh, no, we are so off topic.
It took me 5 minutes to find the youth services, which was information I had already known because you had told me about it.
Yeah.
But I just needed that screenshot of it for him.
Yeah.
And it took me less than 5 minutes, actually. Because I did it and sent it to him.
It's not like they're hidden. They're not hidden bylaws on some secret website on the dark internet. It's not like that. They're right there.
Not something that you need a VPN to go find.
But the thing of it is that what they're not going to do is go, here's our policy.
Yeah.
Like, case in point, and this is a prime example, when I went to work and came out at work, I went to, my supervisor, because I was a little iffy on my boss. I wholeheartedly admit that. And she was like, oh my God, this is great. Let me look into it. She came back a couple days later and went, we have a policy. I didn't realize that.
How does this supervisor not know about a policy?
Well, again, because I'm the first transgender in